Hello there, Super Eagles fans. Hello there, football fans. Welcome back to our channel, Football Gist. Today, we are very elated. We're very happy because the Super Eagles of Nigeria has made us really proud. In the midst of a very turbulent time, the Super Eagles were able to go to Benin Republic and pull off a 1-0 victory against all odds. It started with a boat ride from Nigeria to Benin Republic because the players didn't want to gamble with the stress, the discomfort of having to go by road. So the players opted for a boat ride, which went well. Unfortunately, upon arrival, we had a COVID case with Alex Iwobi, and then the Super Eagles were not able to train adequately because there were no lights at the stadium, where there were no floodlights for the Super Eagles to train in the evening prior to the match. But against all odds, the Super Eagles were able to overcome all these challenges, as it were, and were able to secure the needed victory. Although it has to be said, the Super Eagles had already qualified for the African Nations Cup without having to kick a ball, because Lesotho had already drawn with Sierra Leone, and that left them at the highest was 4 points. So Nigeria was already 4 points clear of the bottom two. So Nigeria didn't even need to play the game against Benin Republic. But in the midst of that, Nigeria still played and got the victory and broke an 8-year-old record on the part of the Benin Republic's Squirrels, who hadn't lost at home in 8 years. So kudos to the entire team, kudos to the entire crew for a very successful outing with the Super Eagles. Paulo Nacho was the high point of this game. He reacted first to a shot that was blocked off the line, a shot from Victor Osimhen that was blocked off the line. Onyechu reacted first to head home Nigeria's only goal in stoppage time. It was almost 93 minutes. It was almost 93. The game was almost over from Samuel Chukwueze's corner kick. And Paulo Nacho significantly highlights this was a very significant match for Paulo Nacho, because 2 years ago he made his debut for the Super Eagles in March of 2019. In his second game, in his full debut when he started, he scored Nigeria's only goal and created a record by so doing. He scored 10 seconds into that game against Egypt. Nigeria won 1-0. 2 years down the line, that was on the 26th of March. Yesterday was the 27th of March. 2 years and 1 day down the line, Paulo Nacho gets Nigeria's only goal in another 1-0 victory, and he breaks another record, which is the 8th match unbeaten run at home for the Benin Republic. So kudos to Paulo Nacho, who has been easily Nigeria's most criticized players over the last 2 years. And it's simple. Paulo Nacho is a tall, lanky, big fellow who will thrive on aerial balls. But the Super Eagles have always played with Paulo Nacho as the point man. Super Eagles will still play with the ball to his feet, which is not necessarily his strongest point. So I understand that he's not the most athletic, he's not the most agile or the most aggressive striker, but every striker cannot play in a similar pattern. Every striker is not the same type of striker. So when you have to deploy Paulo Nacho as the lead man up front, then the team has to play to Paulo Nacho's strength, which unfortunately Super Eagles has been doing, and that has accounted for the criticism that Paulo Nacho has gotten. But I'm sure with his performance yesterday, Paulo Nacho has put himself in a very good or stronger position in the Super Eagles. Another man who should get a full plaudits for this success in Benin yesterday is the one and only Gernot Rohr. Gernot Rohr has gotten a bit of criticism from me in recent times, over team selection and a couple of other issues. But love him, hate him, criticize him, Gernot Rohr has been able to create something for himself. He's the one coach who, since he resumed, his job as Super Eagles head coach, has consistently qualified Nigeria for every single tournament, and usually with games to spare, as against the practice in the past where Nigeria usually we had to bring the calculators out and do a lot of permutations, and also hope and pray for results in other games to go our way before we qualify for competitions. But Gernot Rohr has been able to put all that in the past, and so kudos to Gernot Rohr for that achievement. The Super Eagles filed out impressively yesterday in a 4-4-2 formation. That was a new one, because for several years now, ever since the advent of the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-3-3 formations in world football, which most teams in world football have adapted, Nigeria had sort of abandoned the 4-4, the traditional 4-4-2 system, which we had been using for for donkey years. But it was impressive to see that Nigeria could still function in a 4-4-2 formation. That was really a high point for me in that game, and that shows that with the players we have, there's enough quality, there's enough resources for that versatility. I am often of the opinion that we are too tied to very rigid formation. We're too tied to rigid strategies. I believe in versatility. That is one way to take your opponent, to get opponents off guards. But for too long, we have stuck with the 4-3-3. For too long, we have stuck with the 4-2-3-1. But we saw yesterday the Super Eagles can still function in a 4-4-2 formation, which brings me to my next point about Zaidu Sanusi, our left back, who has come to stay. He was amazing. He was fantastic. Henry Onyekuru also did well on the left line, but you could see Zaidu overlap time and time again, especially in the first half, even in the second half, and put in a good number of crosses. Samuel Chukwueze didn't do as well on the right side, but Zaidu totally impressed me. I mean, I wasn't surprised because I know what he's capable of in his club, Porto FC, but he totally took this game, very personally, and he delivered a couple of crosses. Henry Onyekuru got on the end of one of those crosses. I think Kelechi Iheanacho as well, and pull out a fine save from the goalkeeper. So with a player like Paulo Nacho in the strike force, then you need more of such runs and crosses from the flanks. So Samuel Chukwueze will have to buckle up on that count. Alex Iwobi unfortunately tested positive for COVID-19. I do not know if that was the reason why the team had to play 4-4-2, because if Iwobi would have played in the hole, and that probably would have played a 4-3-3. But sadly, Iwobi could not make it into the starting lineup because I suppose he had to isolate. So I want to seize this opportunity to wish Alex Iwobi a very speedy recovery from COVID. I'm sure he'll be back real soon. Moving forward, the Super Eagles play the next game against Lesotho in Lagos. So Lagos fans, I'm sure you guys will be very happy to have the Super Eagles back in Lagos at the Teslim Balogun Stadium as we face Lesotho in another dead rubber game. Nothing at stake once again. So, but I suppose this will give the Super Eagles team and the Super Eagles coaching crew the opportunity to assess formations, tactics, to evaluate the team generally. It is a competition, yes, but of course there's nothing at stake, but then it takes off all the pressures and gives the players a free chance to express themselves. So I suppose Coach General will take advantage of this next game to re-evaluate his team, to assess some other players. The Henry Onyekuru's, Anayiwala of Enyimba came on in the game and he was amazing. He was really amazing. So this will be an opportunity to assess players like that, give them a decent run in the team, and see how that goes. Because we're still building. I believe in this team. I believe in the work General Raw is doing. This is about the youngest Nigerian team in a very long time. So I suppose this team has a very big future going into the Nations Cup, and then in extension going to the World Cup in 2022. So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done, and I suppose matches like the Lesotho game will afford the coach the opportunity to assess his team, to evaluate his team, and make necessary improvements where it applies. So yeah, that's it for the game. We're proud of the Super Eagles. We're happy, and we're going to the Nations Cup. So, but please, before you leave, please remember to subscribe. Remember to click on the notification bell, and then we'll see you again in our next video.